2 to 3 days, you have to consult your doctor.
But doctor, let's talk about the mosquito itself, the guy who creates all these problems. Now, it is a misunderstanding that this particular type of mosquito, which actually is only involved in the spreading process, the guy is not born with the disease. Is that right? It can take the disease from one person to another, or has it been proved that even a dengue infected, the particular virus, an infected mosquito, if the female mosquito lays the larvae, has it been proved that the larvae, the new births, can also contain the disease, or is it just a mechanism of spreading the disease around?
Yeah, the literature up to now is that once a mosquito bites, it takes a blood meal, and it takes about 7 days. It grows in the mosquito's blood for about 7 days to reach the salivary gland, and it multiplies. And then when you bite, then with the saliva it goes into the human blood to infect. That is the normally accepted and proven mechanism. I really can't, I really don't know, I don't know, there is research to prove that this will go into the eggs. And
I think that's still in the research process.
But because it's a virus, and it needs blood and living materials, it's very unlikely that it will spread from the eggs. But that may be under research. But the current understanding is that it is spread by mosquitoes. When you take a blood meal, it multiplies in the body. And within about 7 days, when the mosquito bites again, through the saliva, it gets into the human blood.
So, doctor, you mean to say that if somebody already infected by dengue, the vulnerability is more for a mosquito to take a feed on that person and to spread it around, or what's the understanding there?
The mosquitoes doesn't know whether you are having dengue or not.
Okay.
The mosquito needs a blood meal to lay his eggs. Only the female mosquitoes bite us. So he doesn't know whether this person is having dengue or not.
So does that mosquito have it already with him, or does the female mosquito take it and give it to someone else?
No. Now there will be 2 types of mosquitoes biting you. First mosquito will not. Some mosquitoes does not have any dengue. They are just ordinary mosquitoes, right? Some mosquito may have the dengue virus. So both type can bite you. Right? And now when we do the PCR studies, sometimes even normal people have the dengue virus in your body. That means because the mosquitoes are biting, but the virus has not really caused the disease. So because this is called hyperendemic transmission, because there is such a degree of virus in the mosquitoes. So the mosquito has to bite a dengue fever patient for the mosquito to have the virus.
Okay, that's what I want to clear out.
Some people will think that just if any dengue mosquito bites, you get fever. No, the mosquito has to be dengue infected.
Infected by another person who's having.
That's the way it's done.
Okay, so that's justice to the mosquito, poor mosquito.
That's a good question because
Yeah. But okay, just before we move on to our break, now I need to clarify one more thing. That is, there is in dengue there's type 1, type 2, and then comes the dengue hemorrhagic, which is the deadliest. Now, it can be said by it can be a bite 1, then a bite 2. Now, just explain as to what exactly this type 1, type 2, and then coming into the hemorrhagic fever. Tell us, explain about this one, because the hemorrhagic fever is the deadliest, and it's very difficult to to pass that. Tell us about this stage 1, stage 2.
No, actually there are 4 viruses. Dengue viruses, there are 4 strains. Dengue 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now these strains differ in their antigenicity, in a different way. They are not the same, right? Although they are dengue. So what happens is one will get infected with one dengue strain, right? and it may be a very mild form, right? And maybe within 2 or 3 days is okay. Maybe after
That is after having treatment, 2 or 3 days. It's
yeah,
okay.
it could be, or without treatment.
Without treatment,
I mean,
you wouldn't even know that you got it.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Right now, after some time, maybe now, after one bite, normally with any strain you have immunity for about 3 months.
Okay.
For 3 months, very unlikely for you to get any other strains.
Okay.
But after 3 months, the body immunity drops to a certain extent. And then, if another strain bites you, now if you are being bitten by one strain, you have lifetime immunity to that strain. Say dengue type 1, then you don't get. So if a type 2 virus gets into you, dengue, then you have a fever, and that could lead to dengue hemorrhagic fever, because then the body actually, it's more than the virus that does the harm. It's the body's immune mechanism which does the damage. Right? Because now when a virus gets into our body, the body try to kill and destroy. So what happens is, when the first fellow has bitten, the body recognizes this fellow is deadly. So second time body gives us such a big immune response. That is the thing that causes this fluid leakage, increased capillary permeability, bleeding, all that is after the virus is not there. Now the virus is in our body for only for 3 days, and after that the virus is not there. It's the immune system, and the body, how the body reacts to it, it has will do the damage. So this is what is meant by all this. Now, if you get one infection, first infection wouldn't cause many damage. The second infection by another strain will cause all these problems. You understand?
So if it's the same mosquito who bit you the second time,
it's not the mosquito, it's the type of the
type. Okay,
yeah.
The type. If it's type 1 the first time,
Yeah.
and type 2 the second, type 1 the second time also,
you won't get.
you won't get anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if the type 1 bites you,
Okay.
you have lifelong immunity
Immune
for
for
type
that, okay,
1.
okay.
If the type 2 bites you and if you get cured, then you have lifelong immunity.
For the type 2. Okay.
So there are 4 strains.
Oh goodness.
So that is why now they have just come out with a vaccine. Because with taking all 4 strains.
So this is why they can't have a vaccine.
That is the problem.
Okay.
Because if you give a vaccine,
Okay.
that
It will
you
be
have
only for that
sensitized the
time.
body, so you don't know when the virus comes whether it will be it will
So it has
have
to
a
be
very
a
severe
combination
reaction.
of all four types. If at all, there's going to be a
Yeah.
vaccination.
The problem had been with the strain 4, dengue type 4, because the problem is that virus mutates very frequently.
Okay.
Type 4 changes its antigenicity. So therefore, to get get all these strains and make a vaccine is a little difficult. But I think they have got a breakthrough with the vaccine now.
Okay.
Hopefully it will come.
Right. Okay, we are moving on to our first break. We'll come back and let's see what happens ultimately to a hemorrhagic case. What next? So don't go anywhere. It's pretty interesting. So stay tuned. We'll be back after our first break.